The Covina massacre is a deeply disturbing event, and the details of what led to the massacre reveal a complex mix of personal grievances, rage, and premeditation. Here's a more detailed account of the whole tragedy. Bruce Jeffrey Pardo was a 45-year-old man living in the Los Angeles area. He had been married to Sylvia Pardo for several years, but the couple separated in 2006 and ultimately divorced in 2008. Despite the divorce, Bruce remained bitter and angry, particularly over the division of their assets. Sylvia's family had never been particularly fond of him, and Bruce had been known to be controlling and difficult. After the separation, he continued to harbor resentment, which would later culminate in the tragic events of Christmas Eve 2008. On December 24, 2008, Sylvia Pardo's family gathered for their annual Christmas Eve celebration at her parents' house in Covina, California. The family had no idea that Bruce would show up, and the night was meant to be a festive occasion. Around 11:30 p.m., about 25 family members and friends were in the house, enjoying food, drinks, and the holiday spirit. Bruce, however, was planning something far darker. He had spent the days leading up to Christmas preparing for the massacre. One of his main tools was an elaborate disguise. He dressed in a Santa Claus suit, which helped him avoid immediate recognition as he entered the house. Bruce arrived at the Pardo household in his Santa suit, carrying a suitcase filled with weapons. Inside the suitcase was a semi-automatic handgun and a revolver, along with a homemade flamethrower that would later be used to set the house on fire. He rang the doorbell and, once inside, immediately began his attack. As soon as he entered, he started shooting at the people in the house. He shot and killed Sylvia Pardo, along with several other members of her family. Among the victims were her mother, father, brother, and at least 6 other family members, including her 8-year-old niece. In total, 9 people were killed in the initial shooting. After the killings, Bruce turned on the flamethrower he had rigged, setting the house ablaze. The fire consumed the home, causing further destruction and complicating efforts to identify the victims. However, the flames didn't kill Bruce. He had planned for the fire to cover up evidence of the shootings. After the massacre, Bruce fled the scene in his car, but he didn't go far. He was later tracked to a nearby house in the city of Buena Park, where he was found dead in his car from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Bruce had used a gun to end his own life. The authorities initially had no idea who was responsible for the massacre. However, after investigating the scene and discovering Bruce's ties to the family, they quickly connected him to the attack. In the weeks that followed, it was revealed that Bruce had spent months planning the massacre. His motive appeared to be revenge over the divorce and the perceived injustices in the breakup. He had been deeply angry about his ex-wife's life and the way the divorce settlement had gone. Bruce's meticulous planning included not only the Santa disguise, but also several rounds of therapy to keep up appearances as a normal person, as well as the construction of a flamethrower, which he used to try to destroy the evidence. His suicide was also planned in advance, as he didn't want to be captured. In the aftermath, the victims' families were left devastated by the scale of the massacre. The massacre remains one of the most shocking and gruesome family-related crimes in recent history. It also raised awareness about the psychological toll of divorce and the potential for unaddressed anger or mental health issues to manifest in violent ways. The Covina massacre became a haunting example of family violence, especially during a time when many people were expecting peace and togetherness for the holidays. The fact that Bruce Jeffrey Pardo dressed as Santa Claus's symbol of joy and happiness only added to the horrifying nature of the attack. The tragedy has been discussed extensively in the media and has inspired debates on the nature of domestic violence, the psychology behind revenge killings, and the need for greater attention to mental health issues. In summary, the Covina massacre was the result of a bitter divorce and a man's desire for revenge against his ex-wife's family. Bruce Jeffrey Pardo's premeditated actions led to the deaths of 9 people, and his choice to disguise himself as Santa Claus added an extra layer of horror to the crime. The attack ended with his suicide, but the emotional scars left on the surviving family members and the broader community remain to this day. Don't forget to subscribe if you want contents like this. Thank you.